Sierra here with Gypsyfae Creations. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am doing an Alice in Wonderland themed soap today, more so a Queen of Hearts themed. It's been one of these designs that have been on the back burner for a long time and I'm just not getting around to doing it. I am still playing the game Close Call with my buckets here. I have not invested into a bigger soap bucket, so hopefully this doesn't make a mess, but let's combine my oils and lye solution here. Like, no joke, it's just about the top of this bucket. It barely fits in here. 7 different kinds of oils in here. Sodium lactate to make sure my bar hardens and releases from the mold nicely. I've also got some coconut milk powder in here, which gives it a nice creamy lather, a little extra bubble. What else is in here? Tessa Silk. That just creates a really smooth bar. I really like Tessa Silk in my soap recipe. And Kaolin clay in there. Hopefully that helps with my scent sticking, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that scent after I get this mixed up. The design concept behind this is to represent the Queen of Hearts with all of her hearts and roses in all her glory. So I'm going to just split this off into this little bucket, which has some black oxide and activated charcoal. And into my big bucket, I'm going to add some titanium dioxide. I want to create like that playing card look, so just black and white. I have some heart-shaped column molds that I'm going to put one on the top and one on the bottom, kind of like in the corners of the card. There are also a couple different shades of pink here, so I have like one loaf will have this shade of pink in it, and one loaf will have this shade of pink in it. So let's get these colors mixed in. Fragrance is Victorian Rose. If you guys have been around, you know I hate the smell of roses. Well, I hate fragrance oils that smell like roses. I don't mind sniffing a real rose, but like fragrance oils with the artificial, they just remind me of funeral homes. I don't know what it is, but I am not a fan of rose. So this fragrance has literally been on the back shelf of my fragrance shelf for at least 6 months, and I've just been avoiding using it. I've been trying to find the courage to I hate roses, just trying to get the courage to get around to using it. And I'm going to mix this in by hand. It does say there's slight acceleration, so you know, let's just misbehave and I can hate you even more. Roses. Chose the scent, one, for the fact that it's roses, and you guys are going to see what I put on top of this. It will make more sense. And the name Victorian Rose, since Alice in Wonderland was published in the Victorian era, it just reminded me of something that it would smell like. I don't know. Roses and Victorian. It is notes of fresh cut roses and ambered musk. So it is a simple fragrance. It is very rose heavy. And so far it's okay as far as behaving. But we will see. Alright, let's get my molds over here. I'm going to start pouring. We'll do a little in the pot swirl. And put our little heart embed columns in. And decorate the top. excuse me, slight acceleration. I'm gonna go with Off With Your Head. That was the worst fragrance ever, only because it smelled like Rose's End, because it accelerated on me. But holy moly, you guys, there's so much that I just messed up there because I was panicking trying to get that all in the mold. I meant to put the hearts, the 2 different color hearts, in like the light pink and the light pink and the dark pink and the dark pink, and I rushed. Camera was all out of focus. I made a huge mess. Boy, I stick by the fact that I hate rose fragrances just because of the way that acted up. Alright, yeah, I tried my best with that. We're going to go ahead and cover this all up with some pretty embeds now. Going on top are these rustic looking roses that I made out of soap dough. Stupid fragrance, I'm so mad at it. I don't even like this soap anymore. I'm going to stick one of these roses on each side. I'm going with red and then white, and the reason why I chose the red is because they are the Queen's favorite. She wanted red roses, and of course her card soldiers, and I'm talking about the particular scene where Alice walks into the garden and all of the playing card soldiers are painting all of the roses red because they accidentally planted white roses. And so I thought I would do one of each just to tie that scene together. I also have some hearts that I'm not sure if I want to put on here. I'm thinking about that. These roses I made by hand and they're okay. I've come to terms with the fact that I am crap at piping roses. Like, I worked in the bakery for years, and at the end of the day, before everything closed up, I would sit in the cake decorating area with the leftover pastry bags full of icing and practice piping on roses. I can write on things. I cannot pipe a flower to save my life. No matter how hard I tried, and I've tried with soap as well, and I don't know if it's like my technique or my recipe or it's just something that I'll never be good at, but I've come to terms with that. And I'm part of a group on Facebook with Sorcery Soaps, and one lady suggested a tool that they use for fondant, I guess for people like me, and it looks like this. I'll leave a link for it and maybe an instruction video link as well. But I sat and I watched some Netflix and I just played with some soap dough. It is an extra step and time consuming, but I find it therapeutic. I like to sit and watch either Netflix or YouTube and just play with soap dough whenever I get the opportunity, whenever inspiration strikes. And this time I was sitting down watching Netflix, and there's this show called Watership Down, and it looks really, really cute. Like, there's cute little rabbits, and there's a lot of famous people in it. James McAvey is in it, Taron Egerton, Rosamund Pike. There's a lot of my favorite actors and actresses in there, and I was like, oh, this is going to be really good. It is the most stressful animated series I've ever watched. I mean, rabbits struggling, pretty much. It really stressed me out. So I tried to watch 2 episodes of it because it was like, I want that happy ending. But it was torture. It is not cute at all. So luckily, I don't know anything about Watership Down, by the way. If it's a book, I suppose I've never heard about it. And maybe I should look into it because I'm curious now. But it wasn't my kind of show, and I don't know if I'm going to pick it back up. Luckily, I got on YouTube, and Soy and Shay and Ophelia Soapery had just uploaded some soap making videos, and I was able to just relax and finish my soap making and not have nightmares about rabbits. Because I've had a rabbit, and it was a nightmare. I'm still finding things that it chewed up. I'm trying to decide, do I want to put these hearts on here, or do I want to let it be? Because it is hardening up on me. I think I'm going to put them on there. What the heck? This is so hardening up right now. Worst fragrance ever. I'm so mad at it. And these also are a couple different shades as well. Yeah, this fragrance is never again, even if it wasn't rose. Alright, let me get the rest of these on here. I'm going to do some glitter, and I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and cut it and hope that it is everything I ever imagined, because making it was a bit stressful. It was like water shipped down. Alright, let's see what the inside of the soap looks like. Gotta be really careful with cutting it because of those melt and pour heart columns in there. I am still mad at this fragrance, but I guess I can forgive it because it didn't turn out that bad. So each loaf turned out a little differently. On this loaf, the bottom half got more of the black, and then the top got more of the white. In the other bar that I cut, let me find a good piece here. It's kind of evenly distributed. And I didn't think I used that much black colorant, but I guess a little went a long way. Definitely want to redo this soap in the future with a different fragrance, and hopefully something that'll behave a little better. The original design that I had in mind for this soap actually had a crown embed on top, but the crowns that I have, the mold that I have, was too big. So would like to redo the soap in the future. Different fragrance, different embed, maybe a little less black in there. But I am super happy with how it turned out, even though I got distracted when it all sped up, and these were supposed to be the same colors in each loaf. Again, not mad at it because that design still works. I can just say I did that on purpose as well. One of the first high top soaps that I had ever done when I was learning to make soap was a Alice in Wonderland inspired soap. So I have to post a picture of that. I don't know if I like going back and looking at all my old stuff, but it definitely shows me how far I've come in my soapy adventures. I've definitely come a long way from where I first started, I must say. Of course, if you keep doing something long enough and keep practicing, you're bound to get good at it, right? Besides piping roses. Maybe the next time I make this soap, I'll have that down and just perfect this design. Yep, I still don't like the smell of it. It smells too floral for me. I can't stand it. If anyone out there likes to read, especially young adult books, there is a book called Heartless. And I'm really weird about spin-offs on classics, so like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is one of the books I tried to pick up. It was just blasphemy. I couldn't get through it without cringing, and I just never finished it. So I am really weird about classics being redone. I would just throw that out there. But something that is worth a listen to or a read is this book called Heartless. And it's a spin-off, of course, of Alice in Wonderland. And it focuses more on the Red Queen and like how she came about, like her origins, kind of like the Maleficent movies that are out right now that showed the background of how Maleficent became Maleficent. Well, this book is kind of if there were a story, because this obviously isn't by the same author who wrote Alice in Wonderland, it's by an author named Marissa Myers. If the Red Queen was a normal little girl and how she turned into be such a tyrant. So definitely worth a reader listen if you are interested. I liked it. If you like those kind of stories, like villains and young adult and fantasy, I really enjoyed that book, so I would recommend it. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to purchase this soap, it will be available on February 21st. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them for me in the comment section down below. And until next time, I hope you have a very nice day, and I will smell you later.